MMBL Pathfinder is a privately held investment group which has its origins in the businesses founded by pioneer Sri Lankan financier, senator, and economist, the late Deshamanya N.U. Jayawardena, a self-made man from Tangal in southern Sri Lanka. N.U., as he was fondly called, rose through the colonial government service to become the first Sri Lankan governor of the Central Bank of Ceylon, the third highest post in the country at that time. In 1956, at the age of 48, he entered the private sector as the first Sri Lankan to head a British sterling company, Vavasur Trading Limited, which was the leader in the export of coconut-based products in the country. In 1960, as the government initiated a Ceylonization program, N.U. entered the entrepreneurial phase of his career by purchasing Sri Lanka's largest textile mill and leading industrial employer, Welawate Spinning and Weaving Mills, from the Maharaja of Gwalior. Over the next 4 decades, until his demise in 2002, he played a pioneering role in Sri Lanka's private sector. In the finance and banking sector, he broke through the cartels in banking, insurance, tea broking, and stockbroking that had been in existence since colonial times. In addition, N.U. is widely regarded as having been responsible for the modernization of Sri Lanka's financial sector through the introduction of information technology into all the institutions founded by him. In the housing and property sector, he set up Sri Lanka's first housing schemes for the middle class, Ambagahapura and Siripura. He also helped set up Sri Lanka's first private sector shipping line. N.U. played a leading role in developing Sri Lanka's first tourism master plan, and through an international network of aviation and tourism alliances, he was among those responsible for laying the foundations for today's travel and tourism industry. N.U. was a pioneer in the gem and jewelry sector, where his companies won presidential export awards for the promotion of blue sapphires as investment-grade stones. Over 3 generations, Deshamanya N.U. Jayawardena and his family have developed associations and affiliations with an impressive range of reputed global brands. Sri Lanka's tumultuous post-independence political climate led to different governments adopting varying ideologies and attitudes vis-a-vis the private sector. In this context, like most business houses in Sri Lanka, N.U. and his family too had to face their share of adversity. In 1970, the then socialist government nationalized Welawate Spinning and Weaving Mills, following a strike by left-wing unions. In 1992, owing to a clash with the then central bank management, Mercantile Credit, which was at that time the largest finance company in the country, was vested with the government. Then on the 31st of January 1996, LTTE terrorists blew up Central Bank of Sri Lanka building. The head office of Mercantile Credit and Mercantile Merchant Bank, which were situated directly in front of the central bank, were destroyed in the blast. However, in keeping with one of N.U.'s favorite dictums to his family and staff, never take no for an answer, all challenges were seen as opportunities, and the group's investment portfolio remained diverse and strong, enabling it to face the uncertainties associated with the frontier economy. During the period of war and terrorism in the country, the second generation of the family, each who had their own area of expertise, brought in professional management to restructure and consolidate the investment portfolio. Through this process, we were able to focus on sectors that offered the best prospects for medium and long-term returns. Today, we continue the traditions of innovation, entrepreneurship, and public service began by N.U. Jayawardena through MMBL Pathfinder. His grandson, Milinda Moragoda, is at the helm of the group as its founder. Milinda, a public figure in his own right, has had a distinguished career spanning business, politics, diplomacy, academia, and the media. Melinda held his first cabinet ministerial post at the age of 37, and since then has held several other cabinet portfolios under successive governments, including justice, economic reform, science and technology, and tourism. He was recognized by the World Economic Forum as a global leader for tomorrow and as a young global leader in the 1990s and 2000. He is backed by a talented team of professionals whose skills and experience span both the private and public sectors. The MMBL Pathfinder management team is unique in the private sector for its vast experience, expertise, networks, and credibility, giving us a distinct advantage in our business dealings. The team operates from our headquarters at the River Point, located just outside the city of Colombo on the banks of the iconic Kelani River. River Point is also the location of a Cinnamon Air water aerodrome. It also serves as a launch pier for some of the water-based activities that are being developed by our group. The business model of MMBL Pathfinder centers on niche investments in sectors with potential for high growth. Where appropriate, the group forms joint ventures with Sri Lankan and foreign blue-chip companies and high-net-worth investors to realize its investment objectives. In the post-war Sri Lankan economy, the group has identified many sectors which offer attractive value investment opportunities. By constantly assessing new opportunities and moving swiftly and decisively, well before other competitors, MMBL Pathfinder follows the trailblazing tradition set by N.U. Jayawardena. The dynamics of the MMBL Pathfinder business model entails that the mix of portfolio investments keep evolving according to the times. The portfolio consists of strategic stakes in companies engaged in diverse sectors of the Sri Lankan economy. Some of our more recent initiatives include finance, MMBL Money Master, a joint venture with Sri Lankan blue-chip Aitken Pence, is the largest Western Union agent in Sri Lanka. Foreign remittances from the largest share of Sri Lanka's foreign exchange income. Our joint venture accounts for close to 7% of all cash-to-cash remittances coming into the country. Business Logistics. Intertech Lanka, our joint venture with Global Inspections. Certification and Testing Giant Intertech Group PLC operates one of Sri Lanka's top 2 testing laboratories servicing the petroleum, agricultural, food, and garment sectors. Aviation. MMBL Pathfinder, together with Sri Lankan blue-chip groups, John Keels and Brandex, own and operate Cinnamon Air, Sri Lanka's only private sector domestic scheduled airline. Leisure and Tourism. Our company is a co-promoter of Jetwing Jarl, which is said to be the premier hotel in the northern city of Jaffna. Lanka Houseboats, another of our joint ventures with Jetwing Group, owns and operates Sri Lanka's first luxury river houseboats. Sentinel Realty, a joint venture with John Keels Group, owns several exclusive locations on the east coast of Sri Lanka, which will be developed into world-class resorts in the coming years. In addition, our group has embarked on a series of projects that seek to use Sri Lanka's internal waterways and coastal sea routes for boating and yachting-related activities. Strategic Properties. MMBL Pathfinder has a collection of one-of-a-kind resort locations in Sri Lanka, including in the Knuckles mountain range area, Trincomalee, which will be developed in strategic phases. In the non-profit sector, MMBL Pathfinder has undertaken several social and philanthropic initiatives. The Melinda Moragoda Institute for People's Empowerment, which was the first local NGO to engage in humanitarian demining, is the umbrella organization for the group's non-profit activities, including the Pathfinder Foundation, one of the country's leading policy advocacy organizations and think tanks. The N.U. Jayawardena Charitable Trust, which supports education through school scholarships. The Moragoda International Law Trust, which supports the study of international law and endows a visiting professorship in international law at the Kotelawala Defense Academy, Purasarana, which engages in urban renewal activities, and Urumayaka Ulpata, which supports interfaith dialogue and assists in the rehabilitation of places of religious worship. Over 5 decades ago, N.U. Jayawardena took the momentous decision to become an entrepreneur by purchasing a textile mill from the Maharaja of the Indian state of Gwalior. As a third-generation family business, we are proud to say that his vision and ideals are still alive. As we continuously adapt to meet the challenges and opportunities of a complex and changing world, 2 of his constant admonitions to his family and staff will always remain as a cornerstone of our approach. Never take no for an answer, and do today what should be done tomorrow.